Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So in this one, I wanted to talk about episode 7. So obviously this will contain spoilers for the episode. This was a pretty big episode. Honestly, this episode, I mean, from beginning to end, a lot of it was set up for 8. A lot of it you can tell in the way that it's structured that a lot of certain storylines will pay off in episode 8. There's going to be a big reveal happening in 8. Like at this point, I really do believe it just because of how they're setting everything up here. And there's a lot of shots that we got in the Comic-Con trailer that were actually totally misleading. I thought was related to something else. Now, after watching this episode, I'm like, oh no, actually, that's unrelated. That is related to this thing here. We also got a pretty major character reveal, but you're only going to really know about this if you know the comic, because in the episode, they actually don't really give away too much. You might not even know who this person is at all. Like, you're literally most likely not going to know. And so, yeah, there's so much to talk about here. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. Now, I do want to say that I will be doing an episode 8 video after this. They didn't release a trailer from what I saw. So obviously, whenever they do see it, once I do watch the trailer, I will do a video on it. But what I will be doing later on, like right after this video is posted, is an episode 8 teaser breakdown, sort of like breaking down what they've teased here and what they've set up for episode 8. And so kind of get into get into what we're most likely going to see for episode 8, because there's going to be some Pamela Milton stuff in here. I mean, they really set it up in this episode. It was going to happen here, but it looks like it's going to happen in 8. And a lot of what Angela Kang said is actually turning out to be true. I mean, we literally saw Sebastian Milton. Like, we didn't get his name, but this character right here is Sebastian Milton. And I mean, he is perfect for the role. Like, I hate this character immediately. I already hate this character. And it's going to be interesting, honestly. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. So anyways, yeah, expect that episode 8 teaser breakdown to be coming out right after this. But obviously, as I said before, if you are new here and you want all of my Walking Dead content on all of that, then make sure to be a subscriber. And also, we will be discussing this on the podcast. We're actually going to be talking about episode 6 and 7, which will be coming out on Monday. And I mean, there's going to be so much to talk about here, because like they really get into quite a bit of stuff here in 7. I mean, the excitement I have for episode 8 right now, like it looks like everything is sort of coming to a close with the Reaper arc. But like, man, I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have. But anyways, I'll talk about that more in my episode 8 video. And obviously we'll talk about it in depth in our podcast. So our podcast, it's the Forest Day podcast. The links are down below. We're on YouTube and on Spotify. But let's get into the review here. So obviously the major storyline here is the Commonwealth arc, right? And we see a lot of scenes of Eugene and everyone else paying their fines and whatnot. We also have a big Yumiko storyline. The person that Yumiko was going to meet, and it's confirmed in this episode, was Pamela Milton. And it's actually this big moment where I was actually really wondering if they were going to reveal the character in this episode, because Angela Kang said that we are going to meet the son before the mother, right? So we're going to meet Sebastian Milton first. We did meet Sebastian Milton, and his scene completely blew me away. Honestly, I love the character. I hate the character, but like, I love that I hate the character. And I mean, man, like I kind of love how they did the reveal too, because he's just like this random character. Like if you see the character, you're not going to know that's Sebastian. You're going to have no idea until you watch the episode. And not even that, like, honestly, I think most people might not get who this is unless you've read the comic. And not even that, like, you have to watch the scene to see it all play out, because they don't even say that he is Sebastian Milton. They just kind of say this is the governor's son. This is Miss Milton's son. And I love how the scene plays out, because Eugene, obviously, he sees a walker coming by and he's like, okay, well, I gotta go. I have to go help this couple here. And so he runs out there, goes and kills the walkers and stuff. And then Sebastian is just pissed off about the whole thing. He's just like, you ruined our date. We came out here because we wanted to get some alone time and all that, and you guys ruined our date. And Eugene is like, I just saved your guys' lives. And he's like, no, that's why we have security and stuff. And Eugene's just like, who the hell are you? Like, I literally came here to save your life. Like, you should be thankful. The fake Stephanie the whole entire time is sort of questioning everything here. She's just like, because she knows who he is. Like, she does. Eugene has no idea who he is, right? So he just kind of keeps going. And then there's his girlfriend, and we've seen this character like months and months ago. There were some leaked images that came out. We saw her. We were wondering if that was going to be Pamela Milton's daughter, but no, ends up being Sebastian Milton's girlfriend. Eugene's girlfriend ends up killing the walker to save her, but a bunch of blood splatters on her. and she freaks out about it. And so it ends up being this whole crazy situation where Sebastian Middleton's like, why didn't you do this? This was your fault, and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, Eugene gets pissed off, punches Sebastian, and then it's like, oh shit. And everyone is freaking out. Everyone's just like, do you know what you just did? Do you know who he is? I can't believe you just did that. And then Eugene is now in trouble because he basically hit someone who was a high up government official. And, I mean, Sebastian is not going to, he's going to punish them. And honestly, Sebastian's going to be a lot of trouble. Like, based off of this scene here, he is going to cause everyone so much heartache. I can already see us hating this character so much. I can see how this character in the comic kills Rick. I can totally see how it happens. And honestly, it sucks. It really does suck. But like, this is just where the story is going right now. And I mean, like, it's great. I do like the fact that I hate this character. It's just that for a lot of us who are like, for example, for Mercer, right? Like, Mercer is a character who is extremely likable. And you have Sebastian here just bullying him around. And this is ripped right out of the comic. Mercer is this obviously high-ranking official, very respected. And Sebastian just bullies him around because he has all this power because he's the son of the governor. And like I said, they were building up to the reveal here. They were actually building up to the reveal of, here's Pamela Milton. You know, this is the big reveal. But obviously, it sort of gets postponed because her son got hit. And so she has to deal with that. So we're going to meet this character. It is definitely going to be a scene that happens in 8. What I will say, though, is it's a little interesting that we didn't get any of the reveal that Alexandria is located here, right? We didn't get anything like that. And based off of the synopsis for episode 8, there's like no Commonwealth stuff. So, you know, maybe that's different, but episode 8 would have to be pretty gigantic. So I don't know where they're going with this, but it just seems like, yeah, the Pamela Milton reveal is going to be the big reveal. And I do hope that they arrive at the Commonwealth, that they do arrive in Alexandria at the end of episode 8. But just based off of this episode, it seems like things are almost lined up here. We saw Sebastian Milton. This was a prediction of ours for a while. But there's some things here that aren't quite lined up here. But anyways, well, I'll have to talk about this more in future videos. In terms of just the Commonwealth story that we got here, obviously the Sebastian Milton reveal is a big one. The Pamela Milton stuff, like, she is coming, like, she's going to be on the show very soon. Just, yeah, really fantastic. Really enjoyed this. It was so cool to see the dynamic between Mercer and Sebastian. I mean, but like if you're not a fan of the Commonwealth yet, when you saw that scene, you had to like Mercer. Like, Mercer just, he's forced to take shit from this kid, right? It really sucks. But besides that, you know, the Daryl and Leah story, it really more just humanized Leah. I would say there wasn't really too much there. I like the story, though. I did like the fact that Daryl is still caring for Leah. You know, they saw that family at the end, and Leah didn't want to kill that woman, but Daryl's like, you know what, I'll do it. And so he does. And for the most part, that's kind of it. There's not a lot there. It just more advances the relationship between Pope and Leah. And you can see that Leah is different, and Leah is not really like a Reaper, right? Like, she's not one of them. She's definitely different. She's just kind of doing this to survive. So I do think in 8, she will side with Daryl. I could totally see it. I don't see her siding with them for too long. But again, not too much stuff here. We also did see that Yumiko's brother was kidnapped, but that's stuff that we're going to deal with, obviously, in episode 8. Because there's this whole thing. Sebastian Milton got punched, so now they got to deal with that. And at the same time, you have Yumiko's brother Tommy arrested because he's a surgeon, right? And he lied to the Commonwealth. So all this stuff is going to go down, and it's probably going to happen all at the same time because it's all storylines here are all centered on Yumiko and meeting Pamela Milton. So that's going to be the next big step here. They're going to meet Pamela Milton and then sort through all of this. And obviously that's going to happen in episode 8. And I do believe the way they get out of all of this is if they meet, or if they go to see Alexandria. So that is the next step here. The whole Gabriel meets the man of God thing, honestly, very, very, I don't even know why it was included in the synopsis. I thought it was a pretty pointless scene. The scene was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it too much. It was just kind of a pointless scene. I thought there was going to be a lot more there. And literally, it was just the point of it was Gabriel has located Meridian and knows that people are here, basically. But the Maggie and Negan stuff, I will say I actually liked the Maggie and Negan stuff in here. because Maggie, I think, is, and it actually happened pretty genuinely. Like, Maggie is starting to see that Negan has changed, that things are totally different. I love that scene where she's like, so what? You would do everything differently? And he's like, yeah, I would have killed all of you guys. Instead of just Glenn and Abraham, I would have killed all of you guys then. Obviously, because he was trying to protect his people. And I love that, you know, she brought up a lot of different points about it, but he was like, yeah, but what about Gracie? Right? Like someone killed Gracie's father. Like, I mean, I love the fact that they're having this debate because it's a debate that a lot of us fans have about the characters. And yeah, in the end, a lot of it was training. It was like how to be a whisperer, right? And I thought it was all right. Like, you do need to do something like that. And I'm not going to criticize that, because if they didn't show us that, I would also be criticizing the fact that, oh, what? So it's that easy to just put a mask on it and go walk around in a whisper horde, right? Or not whisper horde, but a walker horde. Like, obviously you would need some type of training. You would want to test it out to see if it works. Technically, you know, in season 10, it was a little rushed. And so I'm glad that they played that out here. We saw Maggie learn that. And yeah, I thought that was actually a really cool scene. It's been a while since our characters have just tried to learn a different technique like that. And obviously Negan already knew that one. But it was cool to see Maggie, I guess, learn a new technique here. And I mean, obviously, yeah, that's the big cliffhanger here. The Walker Horde is on its way to Meridian. And what happens now, right? So yeah, anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.